There have been multiple inside reports over these past couple hours that Nebraska head coach Matt Rhule is currently finalizing a contract extension with the Huskers, pinning him to Nebraska for the foreseeable future, and shutting down the Penn State rumors. So in today's video, I'm going to reveal everything you need to know about this developing situation. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. What is this contract extension even going to look like? What are the positives? What are the negatives for the Huskers? What does this mean for Nebraska going forward, along with Penn State, and so much more? So really quick, this is a jam-packed inside report. If you're fired up, I know I am. Hit that like button. And also, if you're a diehard Nebraska fan and you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Listen, we have the best family in Husky YouTube, and this is the only place you can get daily content talking Huskers just like this. It's a no-brainer. Take 2 seconds, join the family, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. But without further ado, we have a lot to talk about. There have been multiple inside reports over these past couple hours that Nebraska head coach Matt Rhule is currently finalizing a contract extension to stay with the Huskers to shut down the Penn State rumors forever. Now, this actually started on a Penn State message board about 24 hours ago by multiple credible insiders, both at On3 and 24/7, that they expect Matt Rhule to be completely out of the running for the Nittany Lions head coaching job based on what they're hearing from Lincoln, what they're hearing from Troy Dane, and all of these rumors, it trickled to the Nebraska message boards, multiple credible insiders on our side, whether it's at On3, whether it's at 24/7. I'm not going to name names, but they've also said they're hearing the same thing, that Troy Dane is working on an extension for Matt Rhule, and they're expecting to announce it in the foreseeable future, whether it's this week, next week. We'll talk about that as well. And then, you saw a couple things on Twitter, people saying they're hearing inside reports. We saw that Kalshi Odds, which is a betting site, Matt Rhule went from by far the favorite to land the Penn State coaching job, and overnight he went to second place. Brian Hartline is now number one. He went from 50% to, I believe, 10% just in the span of a couple hours because they're hearing this rumor. So again, there is a lot of legitimacy behind it. Of course, I reported on the channel about a week ago that Matt Rhule told multiple recruits not only that he's staying with Nebraska, but that he's working on extension. Again, he told that to multiple commits in the class of 26 and the class of 27 that he's staying at Nebraska for the foreseeable future. So this is not shocking. The Huskers have made it very clear they want to stay with Matt Rhule, not only past his current contract, but going into the future, going into 2030, 2040. They want him to be our guy for as long as basically he can coach. So there are a lot of good things that go with this contract. There are a lot of bad things as well. We'll talk about it. But what I'm expecting for a contract extension, right now he still has 5 years left on his contract. They're going to extend him by an additional 3 years is what I'm hearing. They're going to increase his pay to over $10 million per year. So right now, to just give you a reference, he is listed as the 15th highest paid coach in college football. They're expecting to give him a raise to be easily a top 10 highest paid coach in college football, if not potentially even top 5 if he gets up to the $11, $12 million range per year. So again, that's what you can expect from a contract extension. We'll talk about it. But talking about also the timing, there's a reason why this is happening right now, because we have a huge game this weekend versus USC. And there are some huge recruiting implications. Multiple 5-star, big-time 4-star recruits are on campus. They're all concerned about the future of Matt Rhule. And yes, it's nice to hear from Matt Rhule that, he's going to stay with the Huskers going forward. But actions speak louder than words. And a lot of these recruits aren't dumb. So the reason why they want to get this contract extension done maybe before the weekend before USC is so, you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about those guys thinking, maybe the head coach is going, I don't even want to consider Nebraska anymore. You just want to get that out of the air, say, you know what, we're extending our guy. Matt Rhule's going to be here for the foreseeable future, and you can enjoy your visit and commit to the Huskers later. So there's huge recruiting implications why they want to get this done as soon as possible. Obviously, there's a huge game on the football field that we need to win. They want to get all the distractions, all the outside noise out of the equation, so we're not even worried about it. However, there is a drawback if they do, in fact, announce this week, which, again, there are some rumors that will happen this week or next week. What happens if you lose versus USC? There's going to be a lot of critics. So, again, you want to do two things at the exact same time. Of course, you want to squash all the rumors of him going to Penn State, but also you want to silence the critics. And if you lose this game versus USC and extend him a couple days before, it definitely doesn't help anything. But again, timing is a huge reason why they want to get this done as quick as possible, especially going to USC for the recruiting implications. Let's talk about the benefits of a contract extension. Well, let's talk about why this would be a good thing for Nebraska. Let's talk about why this could potentially be a very, very bad thing for the Huskers. Now, right off the bat, there are a couple benefits. Number one, you need to extend Matt Rhule. I know a lot of people say, Matt Rhule's already getting paid, enough money. He already has a huge contract with a bunch of years, a bunch of cash. Why are we extending him and paying him more when he really hasn't proved much? And again, you're making a good point, but listen, if you want Matt Rhule to stay here, you have to extend him because Penn State's going to offer him a lot of money either way. He's high high on their list. He might not be number one, but he's high on their list. So let's say Penn State comes in here and offers $11, $12 million to get Matt Rhule. We have to match that, or else Matt Rhule will leave because he will feel a little bit slighted that Nebraska is not willing to match the offer. He feels like Nebraska doesn't value him as much as Penn State or some of these other schools. So it is important Nebraska extends him regardless if you think he's getting overpaid or not. Of course, we want him to stay here for the foreseeable future because we are winning right now. Okay, yes, we're not a playoff team just yet, but we're making progress. We want to be stable going forward. I'm tired of the days of Nebraska just firing coaches every other year, having coaches leave every other year. We need stability. Okay, more than even winning national championships, we need stability right now. We need to get up to 10 wins a season, 11 wins a season, and the only way you can do that is by keeping your head coach for more than 3 years, more than 4 years. So we need stability. That's why we need an extension. And also, again, we're having a lot of success on the recruiting trail. There's a lot of positive things going on behind the scenes with all the facilities, with the new turf coming in, with the stadium. And also, I'll pose you this question to the people who doubt Matt Rhule and say, oh, we shouldn't extend him. Well, do you want Matt Rhule to be here? And some of you guys might say, no, if you want Matt Rhule to leave, who are we going to get instead? Matt Rhule's not a perfect coach. We'll talk about it in a second. Matt Rhule's not perfect, but if he were to leave, who are we getting instead? Who's better than Matt Rhule? Because there are not many coaches that we would get that are better than Matt Rhule. You might say, oh, Urban Meyer. You might say John Gruden. Those aren't realistic, okay? The realistic availability is that if you get rid of Matt Rhule or Matt Rhule leaves, you're not going to get a better coach than him. It's going to be very hard, especially in modern day college football. So we need to keep Matt Rhule for stability. You're just not going to find a better coach than him. Although he's not perfect, he's definitely the best we've had in a very long time. Now, we need to talk about the drawbacks real quickly because, again, I do expect this to happen within these next couple weeks. I do expect them to extend Matt Rhule at least by probably the Penn State game, if not the Iowa game. This will be something. It might even happen in the bye week. In 2 weeks, they might formally announce this. But, again, from what I've heard, this is a foregone conclusion that they will end up extending Matt Rhule and pay him a lot of money to keep him here. So, again, there are some drawbacks. Number one, again, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a coach who, yes, we're winning, but are we winning that much to pay him, as a top 10 coach in college football? He's already getting paid as a top 15 coach. Going from top 15 to top 10 when you're, winning maybe 8 games this season, is that really worth it? And also, the buyout would be crazy. Let's say things go south, which are always a possibility with Nebraska. We know it can't be easy. What do you do then? What do you do then if things go south? You're gonna pay a $70-80 million buyout because that's what would be the case if that were to happen. Also, Nebraska, unfortunately, we have a bad extension. We have a bad history of extensions. Whether it's with Scott Frost, we extended him after 1 year. We extended Bill Callahan for no reason. So say what you want. Again, I like the extension if we were to do it, but we do have a bad history of extensions with these past couple coaches. And also, the last thing, I'd rather invest this money that we would pay Matt Rhule into our NIL. I would rather do that because I'd rather say, instead of paying our coach a lot more money, let's pay our players a lot more money because the players are out there actually making the plays, actually winning the football games. And Matt Rhule, he has an impact, but really it doesn't matter how good your coach is. If you don't have the players in modern day college football, you're never going to win. You need the pieces first. That's just the bottom line. However, this is what we'll end with. And I made this very clear in my videos talking about why Matt Rhule's going to stay here. Matt Rhule's all about the bigger picture. So yes, he's going to get a contract extension. Yes, it's going to be announced probably in these next couple weeks. There will be a boost in NIL. There will be. Okay, that's part of his contract extension. He's making sure that not only he's secured for the future, his family's secured for the future. His family will never have to work again. He's making sure of that, but he's also making sure Nebraska's roster is in a good place. He talked about a couple weeks ago, kind of like a politician. He said he wants Nebraska's roster to be competing with the Texas, the Ohio States of the world. Right now, we have like a $20 million roster. That's good, not great. Okay, we can't compete for national championships with a $20 million roster. We need a $40 million roster. We need a $50 million roster. I know that sounds absurd to some of you guys, but that's just the reality. And he said, I want to be one of the top schools in America when it comes to NIL. We're good, not great. So that's going to be part of his contract extension, saying, you know what, I need some more money, but you also need to give more money to my players to keep me to stay. And he's using this leverage. Okay. Also, we're going to have some more facility benefits, I'm sure. We're going to have some more money for the staff as well. But again, I really appreciate what Matt Rhule's doing because he's made it clear that, again, he wants a contract extension. He wants money. He cares about money, as does everybody. But he also wants to make sure the players are in a good place, again, because he understands that, listen, we need NIL in order to be successful. So I think Matt Rhule's agent, they've been very masterful with this. Again, they've used this leverage. That's why everybody was so mad. Oh, Matt Rhule didn't shoot down the Penn State rumors the second he had an opportunity in the press conference. Well, why would he do that? It gets rid of all of his leverage. Then if he were to do that, Nebraska would not give him a contract extension. Nebraska would not give more NIL to these players. Nebraska would not give us, all these facility benefits, recruiting benefits, and then it'd be status quo. And instead, Matt Rhule said, you know what? I'm going to entertain these Penn State rumors for a second. I'm going to entertain it for a little bit in order to get all the benefits that I want in order to stay in Nebraska, which I've always wanted to be at the first place. He never, I think in Matt Rhule's heart of hearts, he actually never wanted to go to Penn State, even though, of course, that's his alma mater. I think he always wanted to stay in Nebraska, but he was willing to entertain in order to, find some common good for the future. So, again, I appreciate Matt Rhule doing that. So, again, just to wrap up this video, looks like Nebraska will extend Matt Rhule. Again, I believe what we've been hearing. I think it's not like a huge hot take. It's pretty clear Troy Dana wants to make this happen. I do expect it to happen at least by the bye week. Obviously, I wouldn't be even shocked if we see it within these next couple of days, but there could be a drawback if we lose to USC. But I think if we beat USC, definitely if we beat UCLA, I expect something in the bye week that he will stay with Nebraska for the future. And again, expect 3 or 4 extra years in that contract, up to $10 or $11 million per year, and also some benefits as well. And then also for Penn State fans, I think a lot of them are going to be celebrating because I don't think a lot of Penn State fans wanted Matt Rhule. There's a lot of Penn State fans who did kind of like Matt Rhule, especially who have power in that university, but there's also a lot of common Penn State fans who said, you know what, do not have Matt Rhule anywhere near our university. So I think it's a win-win. We keep a coach, we're stable, and they can go get whoever they want. They're not even going to get the pick of the litter anyways. They're not even going to get their top option because LSU and Florida get the top option. So Penn State, cool, you don't get Matt Rhule, but you're not going to get anyone good either because the good coaches are going to the other schools. That's just a tough reality for you guys. I know some Penn State fans are going to watch this video. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. But everything, hey, if you made this far, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe. As always, folks, go big red, go Matt Rhule. And I will see you in the next one.